Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we are opening up the book of Exodus.
Ooh, exciting.
Exodus chapter 18 specifically.
Okay.
And, you might be thinking ancient texts.
Right.
What does that have to do with me today?
Yeah.
But stick with us on this one because it's a story about Moses and his father-in-law Jethro
Okay.
and a whole bunch of Israelites wandering in the desert.
Lots of people.
And it has some really surprisingly relevant stuff for us, even today,
It really does.
thousands of years later.
Yeah, we're talking about leadership
Yeah.
and delegation and burnout.
Oh, yeah.
Big themes that we still deal with
Absolutely.
all the time.
So, okay, let's set the scene here.
Okay.
Moses has just led the Israelites out of Egypt.
Right.
They're wandering in the desert.
Freedom.
They're free.
Yeah.
But everybody's looking to Moses for guidance.
Oh, boy.
He's settling disputes.
Mm.
He's interpreting the laws.
Mm.
He is basically running the entire show all by himself.
I can imagine how exhausting.
Yeah. And the text really emphasizes how tired Moses is.
Yeah.
He's working from morning till night.
Wow.
And you can just tell this is not going to be a sustainable way to live.
This is not a good long-term plan.
No.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate case of burnout.
Total burnout.
And that's where Jethro steps in.
Okay.
So Jethro is Moses's father-in-law.
Right.
He's watching all of this unfold, and he's like,
Huh.
hold up, Moses.
Something's got to change.
There's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah. I love that about Jethro.
Yeah.
He doesn't, beat around the bush or anything. He's
Yeah.
just like, look, this isn't working.
Straight to the point.
You need to change something.
And he gives him a solution.
He does.
Amazing.
And it's fascinating because, he doesn't criticize Moses.
Right.
He just approaches him with, empathy and offers this really practical advice.
Yeah.
He says, what you're doing is not good.
Yeah.
You and these people who are coming to you will only wear yourselves out. This has to stop.
And then he hits him with this idea.
Okay.
Delegate.
Ooh.
He says, select capable men from all the people.
Okay.
Men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain.
I like how specific that is.
Right.
Yeah.
And appoint them as officials over thousands,
Yeah.
hundreds, 50s, and 10s.
So basically he's laying out this chain of command,
Yeah.
a hierarchy, so
Yeah.
that all these issues can be addressed at different levels.
Yeah.
And only the really, really big problems would
Yeah.
even make it to Moses. So he
Right.
can think about the big picture.
Yeah. It's about creating a system where everybody has a role to play
Mm-hmm.
and leadership is kind of distributed
Yeah.
rather than all concentrated on one guy.
So smart.
It is.
Yeah.
And, he really emphasizes the qualities
Right.
that these leaders are supposed to have.
Like what kinds of things?
He says they need to be capable,
Obviously.
God-fearing,
Right.
trustworthy,
Yeah.
and honest.
So it's not enough to just be able to get the job done.
Right.
You have to be a good person.
Yeah, it's about character.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important because you're entrusting these people with responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to make good decisions even when you're not looking over their shoulder.
Right. You got to be able to trust them.
Yeah, it's about building a culture of trust.
And shared responsibility.
Yes, exactly.
And it goes both ways, too.
Yeah.
We should delegate to others,
Mhm.
but we should also be open to getting advice ourselves.
Like Moses did.
Exactly like Moses.
He listened to Jethro.
He did.
He was humble enough to realize,
Yeah.
I don't have all the answers.
Right.
And maybe somebody else have a better idea.
And it actually worked out really well for him.
It did.
So good for Moses.
He took the advice. He implemented this new system.
Amazing.
And things went so much better.
Yeah.
Like a well-oiled machine.
I love it.
So we're talking about an ancient story here.
Right.
But I bet you can already see how some of this applies to our lives
Absolutely.
today. Like how we work, how we run our families, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
We'll get into that in just a minute.
Okay.
But first, I need a sip of water.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm parched. All right. I am refreshed and ready to dive back in.
Excellent.
So Moses takes Jethro's advice.
Yeah.
Things go great.
Right.
But there's more to this story
Always more.
when we think about how it applies to us.
Right, like this whole idea of delegation.
Yeah.
It's not just for like kings and emperors.
Right. No, this is for everyone.
For all of us.
Think about your own life,
Mm-hmm.
your job, your family,
Right.
your personal goals even.
Yeah. Are you trying to do everything yourself?
Are you the one who's always carrying the
Are
load?
you completely burned out?
Because this story reminds us
Yeah.
we don't have to do it all alone.
Like you can do anything,
Right.
but you can't do everything.
Exactly. And recognizing that is
Yeah.
important.
It's actually a strength
Yeah, not a weakness.
to say, hey, I need some help.
And just like Jethro said to Moses, find capable people to share the load.
But it's not just about dumping tasks on people.
No, it's about giving them ownership, letting them use their talents.
Empowering other people.
Exactly, and that's where the character part comes in.
Right. Like Jethro said, they got to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
They got to have integrity.
You need to be able to trust them.
Yeah, because you're giving them real responsibility.
They're making decisions that affect other people.
So it's about building a culture of trust, shared responsibility.
And it goes both ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
We delegate to others, but we should also be open to asking for help ourselves.
Like Moses did with Jethro.
Yeah. He was humble enough to be like, hey, I need some guidance.
He recognized he didn't have all the answers.
And it led to a better outcome for everyone.
It did.
So this story raises a question.
Okay.
What is leadership really about?
Yeah. Is it just being the boss?
Being in charge, making all the decisions.
Right. Or is it something more than that?
I think this story points to something more.
Yeah.
It's about empowering others.
Collaboration.
Working together.
Creating a vision everyone can share.
That's powerful stuff.
And it applies to all of us.
Whether you're running a company,
leading a team,
or just trying to manage your own life.
But how do we actually do it?
Yeah, it's easy to say delegate.
But how do we put it into practice?
Well, first we got to assess our own situation.
Honestly, look at what's going on.
Where are we taking on too much?
Yeah, what can we share?
What can we hand off to someone else?
And who do we trust?
Who are the people we can rely on?
Yeah, it's like taking inventory
Of your time and energy.
of your resources.
And then figure out how to share those things.
Not just a one-time thing either.
No, it's ongoing.
You got to communicate,
Give feedback.
make adjustments as you go.
It's a system
A system that works for everyone.
where everyone can contribute.
Just like Moses and the Israelites,
We can build a better way of life,
by sharing the load.
empowering each other.
You know, it's amazing how this story about Moses and Jethro, way back then, still feels so relevant to us now.
It really does.
Like it's like a guidebook for building stronger teams,
Stronger communities.
even families.
What's so striking to me
Yeah.
is how these principles, like delegation,
Right.
trust, shared responsibility,
It's all there.
they just transcend time and culture.
It doesn't matter if you're leading a country.
Or just trying to manage your own life.
It's all about finding a way to do things
that works.
that doesn't burn you out.
That lets other people shine.
And it all begins with realizing
Yeah.
we don't have to do it all
We can't do it all.
ourselves.
And letting go of that control.
That need to control everything can be so freeing.
Because when we empower others,
Mm-hmm.
we actually create a better environment for everybody.
It's not about giving up control
It's about sharing it.
and giving other people a chance to grow,
To learn.
to use their gifts.
Everybody wins.
There's something else in this story, though.
Oh, what's that?
I think it's also about mentorship.
Okay.
Jethro wasn't just giving advice.
Right.
He was mentoring Moses,
Guiding him.
helping him become a better leader.
I love that.
And Moses was open to it.
Yeah.
He was willing to learn.
Even from somebody who wasn't, like, officially in charge.
It shows humility.
And a desire to grow.
So maybe it's not just about delegating. Maybe it's also about finding people who can mentor us.
And being that mentor for someone else.
The beautiful cycle
It really is.
of giving and receiving.
Makes the world a better place.
This deep dive has really got me thinking
Me too.
about all the people who have mentored me
Same.
and who I can help along the way too.
So as we finish up today,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a question.
Okay. Hit me.
Where in your life could you use a little delegation or some wise counsel?
Yeah.
And who could you mentor?
Who needs your help?
Remember the lesson from Moses and Jethro?
We're not meant to do this alone.
We're all in this together.
That's it for our deep dive today.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.